new moon after the eclipse. And this one is about, in my opinion, recalibrating. It's a rally, you know, to refocus and recenter, to find the electricity, to find the chemistry, to find the charge, to keep, those ambitions and those goals that had been set at the beginning of the year with all this Capricorn energy, this reality that we're trying to transform. So, this reading's for everybody, not just Aquarians. It's actually for everybody. And especially because it's Aquarius, because Aquarius rules humanity, it rules the collective, it rules your friends, your tribe, your clans, your cities, your planets, your universe, all of us. It's about networking, it's about science, it's math, it's higher minded stuff, it's genius, it's about ascending. Some of the negative aspects of Aquarius are, like in my opinion, I think it's like communistic kind of communism, like everybody's the same kind of Borg mentality, no individuality, which is the conundrum of Aquarius because it wants to be the individual within the group. Aquarius is very hive-minded. It's the beehive, which its opposite is Leo, which you think of, the queen bee. So you got the queen bee and you got the hive. You got the leader and the followers. You've got the general and his army. You've got the king and his court. And that's kind of why I wanted to, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. Trust me, this is all improv, which also is Aquarian, about improv, and Leo, being authentic and original. None of this stuff's scripted. I might have a few little notes and stuff, but basically it's just times and dates, maybe basic effects. But I wanted to bring in cartoons. I wanted to bring in this childlike energy of Leo. The culmination point of this lunation is Leo. And this is the only full moon Leo gets. So this is shining a light on our inner child, our creative spirit, our authentic self, and how it relates to Aquarius, our friends, how we express that outwardly. And, so some of the cartoons that I was thinking about that this really reminds me about, and it's crazy because all of the cartoons that I'm talking about are team orientated, and they also have a cat theme with robots and thunder and lightning. Very Aquarian. So the cartoons that I want to discuss are to use as an analogy of how we use Aquarius and Leo to reignite, to recharge, to recalibrate, to refocus, to re-inspire, to keep going, to make these dreams, Pisces, Venus, these beautiful, big dreams manifest in our reality. And some of the cartoons I wanted to talk about were Thundercats, Thunder Cat, Voltron, Robotic, Lions, teams coming together in one, and Dragon Ball Z. ascending fire, bring that inspiration, that heart energy, and transforming, ascending. How it shows how strong the mind is and the body can be. So let's get to it. Try to figure out, see if I can do this. I've been thinking about it a lot. It's just I think it's valid. It's just see if I can put it to words. So in the 80s, most of us boys, I don't know, maybe some of the girls too, in our childhood, one of our collective outlets was Saturday morning cartoons. And, you know, this was very childlike. And I'm going back to childhood kind of stuff. Cartoons, you know. This was part of our childhood, our creativity. It kind of formed who we were. You know, we molded through our imagination. You know, Pisces, Neptune, Venus thing going on now. And how we molded our reality in our minds. And, you know, most of us boys, we would go stay over at a friend's house and on Friday night, and, you know, we would, you know, whether we were playing games or whatever, the next morning was the best day ever because it was Saturday morning. What happened on Saturday morning? Cartoons. And, you know, my God, that was the best thing. It was the best feeling. I've always said, you know, everyone says or asks, you know, what, you know, when you see your dream life or, you know, your ideal reality, what would that be? And I spent a long time thinking about that. And for me, and this is the truth, I want to wake up every day and feel like it's Saturday morning. I want that magic every day of my life because those were the greatest, the most charged, the most creative days of my life. You know, we'd wake up on Saturday morning and, you know, we'd get a great big old bowl of cereal and we'd all pile up in front of the television and we'd watch Voltron or Thundercats or X-Men. And the things that they had in common were, take Voltron for instance, you had these 5 guys, you know, the tribe, they had this little tribe going on, and they always came across a problem or some big monster or something would come in, some problem. And they would band together and they would jump in their little lions and they would come together as one, that hive mind, and they would form Voltron, this glorious, awesome robot that just, you know, kicked ass. And, you know, God, we were lit after that. Or the Thundercats, you know. You had thunder, let's think, you know, thunder, you had Aquarius, lightning, the cats, Leo. You had this little tribe of alien, you know, there was like these their planet got blew up or something and they landed on this new planet. They had all these problems just like in Voltron, but, you know, Lion-O, the king of the Thundercats, would have these emotional charge, you know, and he would stick a sword up the sword of omens into the sky, and you know, he would do the thunder, thunder, thundercats, oh, you know, and like he would draw down this electricity, and it would like it would send this beacon, this lion head beacon, and all the other thundercats would just like in this spirit was invoked. A collective spirit was invoked, and they all had each other's backs, man. They would go kick ass. They, you know, take people down. They were just like this spirit, this collective spirit, this charge, this electrical charge. And man, us boys, we would be lit after that. We would spend the whole day trying to act like superheroes. I mean, we had imaginary monsters we were fighting, and we had missions, and you know, one of us would go down, the other one would help each other. I mean, we were charged, and we would go from all until we had to go to bed. I mean, that childlike fire, that inspiration, that's what we need right now. That's what this lunation is calling for, is us to connect with that collective spirit, that collective consciousness, to, you know, charge our day-to-day routines, to manifest this reality that we're in, you know, to understand that we create our reality. Man. So with Venus and Neptune here in Pisces, and you know, Aquarius, and the new moon here, and Mercury in Aquarius, and all this stuff, we have all this dense mental energy, and we don't have a lot over in the spirit sector, you know, the spirit side of the chart. So maybe it's time for us to look outside of ourselves and find that inspiration from other people. You know, it is the middle of winter, and a lot of people get withdrawn, which is very Aquarian. You know, we detach. And it's easy to do that because it's fucking cold as fuck outside, you know? Who wants to go to the gym when it's freezing outside? And, you know, who wants to run to the store when, you know, it's freezing cold, and, you know, it's easier just to drive through the fast food store, you know? So where do we find that charge? Because we've got all the planets moving forward right now. We've got a lot of momentum. And I've always said, you know, I always think of Aquarius as like working smarter instead of working harder. It's like a rudder on a ship. You know, that little rudder can move this monstrous ship with little ease. So what can we do? How can we tap into our brilliance to hold the course? You know, we still got this Capricorn energy, just this dense Capricorn energy going, this super motivated, power-driven construction thing going on in our lives. And we, you know, if we can push through this little bit of a rough spot, you know, and find that charge. You know, it also reminds me of the Dragon Ball, you know, the Super Saiyans. You know, they would get beat down, and then they would just reach this level where that, you know, they would like ascend to the Super Saiyan level. You know, they would lightning chart like a lightning strike, and they just, you know, they pull out of it. So really, that's kind of just like I'm kind of losing myself here. I could go on and on and on, but I'm trying to stay coherent. But how can we find that charge? to keep going, to pull ourselves through this winter, you know. And with Mercury here in Aquarius, we are speaking our reality, you know. What are you telling yourself? You know, I've heard people say, you know, oh, well, I get so depressed in winter, blah, blah, blah. Or you know, I don't do this and do that because it's cold, or I get, you know. Well, if that's what you're telling yourself, then that's what's happening, especially with all this Capricorn energy stuff right now. You are manifesting your reality with what you say and what you think. You know, your thoughts are a vibration, and those vibrations ripple out, and you attract more of, you know, what you put your energy into, you attract back, and you manifest. So, anyway, how do we get our charge back? That's going to be the key for this next Aquarius lunation, is to tapping into our own genius, to think outside the box, to use this Mars and Sagittarius to seek out new experiences, to find new perspectives, new angles, to create this reality that we're trying to, that with this beautiful vision, this beautiful dream, this, you know, that we want to have in our lives. And I'm going to get off here. I've been at this forever. I am exhausted. About 9 o'clock last night, the moon passed over Pluto, and Pluto is a huge trigger point for me, and especially 11 degrees, it's Capricorn. I've got a finger of God, so that's the trigger point for me. And I haven't been to sleep since. I worked an 8-hour shift, and I only took a 15-minute lunch because I was so inspired. I got such a charge out of thinking about watching those cartoons when I was a kid and how I felt, and I want that back in my life. I want that childlike energy, that childlike creativity, that imagination, that beautiful vision of being a hero, or, you know, whatever it is for you. Love you guys. Peace.